It's March 30th, it's spring, 22 degrees, blue sky, and some of England's lockdown restrictions have been lifted. And if we hear this, we're alive, and that's great news. And it feels like we're getting out of hibernation, which is a great thing, but still, it's tough, because we've been going through a lot for this last year, and we don't really know how to deal with the real world anymore. Well, we know somehow, but it can be scary. It can create some anxiety. And then there is our body that many of us have put aside. Many of us have been overeating, drinking, and there we are with a body that sometimes we don't even recognize anymore, or a body that we're not happy with. So what can you do about this? Well, you can start a diet, which is somehow putting some your own restrictions on yourself. Now that the restrictions for everyone are lifted, you're going to start with your own. And you've done that before probably. And you've put the weight back on, unfortunately, probably as well. Another way to deal with it is to learn how to eat intuitively and mindfully. It might take longer than if you do a regular diet, but then you're more than likely to learn new skills, new ways of eating that you'll be happy with, that you can do anytime, and that you can keep doing for the rest of your life. In order to eat more mindfully or intuitively, or in fact there are two different things, but I won't get into these details now maybe, you've got to put your emotions aside. So we all of us, all the time, are dealing with emotions. And most of the time, of course, we're not aware of that. It's unconscious. So before you start eating, you should ask yourself, how do I feel? At first, many of you may say, well, I don't know, I'm okay. But I would like you to look a bit deeper. Not too deep maybe to start with, but take a deep breath and see how you feel. Do you feel tired? Do you feel stressed? Do you feel angry? Are you scared? It could really be, for example, that whilst you were having breakfast this morning, you were feeling frustrated because you cannot really book holidays abroad and you would love to. Maybe you were scared because despite this beautiful weather, you know that there is still a threat outside. Could be you're really tired. Could be you're anxious. It can be so many things, in fact. And we're not in touch with our emotions because we think that somehow it's easier to put them aside than dealing with them. And in fact, our emotions have something to tell us about us. And if we don't listen to them, well, they will take care of us in a way which is not the best way. And eating quickly, and therefore most of the time overeating, is a way to put aside our emotions. There is something very intimate about eating. You know, it's things that we put in your hands, then we put it in our mouth, and it becomes part of us. So it's really intimate. So it's a way to connect to ourselves. But it covers, these emotions which are not very pleasant to deal with on a daily basis, but not for long. Because soon afterwards, we realize we've been eating too much, and then we start complaining about it, complaining about our weight, complaining about our figures, and we feel like shit. I mean, that's in a nutshell how it goes. Sometimes it's not that hard, but that's how it is for many people, in fact. So yes, the idea is to check our emotions before we start eating, so that we stop doing the things we are doing for years sometimes, which is covering our emotions with food and sometimes with alcohol or soft drinks. This morning, for example, before I was having breakfast, I checked with myself and I thought, well, how do I feel this morning? I was excited because I had walking sessions planned in Hampstead Heath, which I love doing. And I can now restart walking with my clients in Hampstead Heath or in Holland Park or anywhere, in fact. But I love these two parks. And I was also a bit apprehensive because I knew that it would be busier than usual because everybody wants to go out with that kind of weather. I was wondering if my clients would feel safe in that environment, although they didn't, I asked them if they wanted to come for a walk or if they wanted to see me online, but most of them were really happy to go outside. I then asked myself, are you hungry? And how hungry are you? And I thought, yeah, I'm a bit hungry, in fact. So I'm going to eat something before I go. Although I could, pack something and, take something with me and eat it between two sessions. But I felt hungry. So I had a bowl of porridge, small one, and that was enough. I've made sure I wasn't eating too quickly. And I've checked again, let's say when I was done with half the bowl, the portion that I served myself, if I was still hungry. I took a deep breath and I was still a bit hungry, so I had a bit more. And I then stopped when I was done with it. When I describe it this way, you may think, well, this is quite laborious. Do I really want to check in with my emotions every time I'm about to eat, and then checking with my hunger? How long is this going to take? And okay, I have to admit at first it doesn't come naturally, but in fact it just takes a few seconds. And once you're used to it, you don't even need to think about it. You do it really naturally. In order to help my client, get on the track with these habits, I've developed a food and emotion diary, which I encourage them to fill in. I'm more than happy to send it to you if you want to. If you send me an email at philippe@philippetaron.com, I will send you a copy. And have a look at it and see if it's something that could be a good tool for you. I know it works very well. And it's not unusual for my clients to say, to realize that, the meal or the day where they've been overeating or eating too much was the day where they didn't check in with their emotions or their hunger. And it doesn't work all the time because sometimes, we're dealing with a lot, especially now. There is so much going on. There is so much anxiety around. It's been such a shit year. I think I've said this before already. But it's been tough and it still is. So, sometimes we don't do it. And if you don't do it, let's say at lunchtime, just start again at the next meal you're having, either a snack in the afternoon or at dinner. It's not like once you stop doing it for a meal or for a day, it's not like you've lost everything. And that's really a big difference with the fad diets, of course. It really requires you to become intimate with yourself. And that's, for me, the main thing, this intimacy that we have lost, this intimacy with ourselves that we have lost. We are bombarded by images, by information on the social media, on the news, and we take on board everybody else's emotions, our friends, our family, the people we see in the media. And how about ourselves? How about myself? How do I feel? What can I do with these emotions? I will do another podcast about how to deal with emotions, in fact, because there is no bad emotion. Well, some of them are, nicer to experience, but they all have a meaning. And I think it's very important to be able to acknowledge that we're dealing with an emotion and know what to do with it. So as I said, I will get back to the difference between eating intuitively and mindfully. There's quite a few differences, and both are interesting, and I think we should combine both. And I will get back to the emotions, like I said, so that you know what to do with these nasty emotions, which play tricks on your well-being and then on the way you're eating as well. And also on our relationships. Okay, I should let you go out now. Well, ideally you're listening to this whilst being outside, having a walk, and enjoying this gorgeous weather, because it's not going to last. I know. I'm sorry about that. I will talk to you very soon. And in the meantime, take very good care of yourself. Bye-bye.